So Friday's assignment was page 103, 5 through 29 odd. A lot of algebra. Algebra. What questions do you have from that? Let's do a couple of them. Yes, Rachel.
Number
13. F of x equals negative 10x. Directions: find the derivative of the function by the limit process. So using the official formal definition of the limit, or of the derivative. So let's review that real quick. Think back to our picture. The derivative is the slope of the line as h gets really small. The slope of the line as h gets really small. So f of x minus 8, or excuse me, f of x plus h minus f of x. That's the big deal. You got to know that. That's the definition of a derivative. You got to know that. So for number 13, I've got f of x. H is just a letter. So I need to find f of x plus h. So in place of x goes x plus h. Negative 10x minus 10h. And then we'll plug that in. So limit as h goes to 0. Negative 10x minus 10h minus f of x is negative 10x all over h. And then, as always happens, stuff cancels out. Negative 10h over h would just be negative 10. And so there's really not a place to plug in 0 for h, but that's okay. It makes the problem even easier. The answer is just negative 10. So the derivative of the function is negative 10. Do you remember what the derivative tells us about the function? These are the two words these two words need to be stuck in your brain. They need to be linked in your brain forever. Derivative tells you slope. Derivative tells you slope at a particular point. Well, look back at our original function here. This one's not hard to figure out. That's a line with slope equals negative 10. Well, look what happens. We did this limit process, this very formal calculus, whatever, and we discovered that, yes, the slope is negative 10. So that one was a good one to do because there's other ways to get the answer to that one that confirms our calculus answer. The algebra answer matches the calculus answer. It's another way to say that. That doesn't always happen because we only know the algebra answer if it's a line. If it's anything else, we don't really know it. Other questions from 103? Because there was a fraction in there. There was a square root in there. Algebra. CalcChat has answers as well with work shown. This would be a good place to find them or to look for them because they'll have steps shown. Nothing else? Are we sure? Kind of worries me. Did you do 21 and 23? This means yes. Just means no. Just be honest. A couple yeses, a couple hidden faces. Okay, a couple of no's. Okay, you know how to do them. It's just the algebra in them. It's not the calculus. It's the algebra that messes people up on ones like 21 and 23.
Or could you do
Number
number 9?
9. Find the slope of the tangent line to the graph of the function at the given point. Okay, so f of t plus h. So we'll plug in t plus h everywhere there's a t. And algebra. Careful with the minus sign. So I'm going to do a bunch of things at once here. I'm going to FOIL that and distribute the minus sign. So minus t squared minus 2th minus h squared. Right? Because if we FOIL, we get 2 th's, and then we distribute the minus sign. H times h is h squared, distribute the minus sign. So now we're ready to plug into the the definition of a derivative. So all of this is f of t plus h now. Minus f of t. Careful with the minus signs, because it's got to be subtracting all of that. All over h. And then we look for things to cancel. In polynomials, everything in this second piece should cancel. In fractions and square roots, you got to do some tricks. But for polynomials, usually, not usually, every time, this stuff should cancel. 3t minus 3t. That's a plus t squared, and there's a minus t squared. So that leaves me with 3h minus 2th minus h squared all over h. Limit as h approaches 0. I still can't plug in 0 for h because it's in the bottom, but everything in the top divides by h, so I can reduce 3 minus 2t minus h. So now if I plug in h equals 0, I get 3 minus 2t. So the derivative of f is 3 minus 2t. That's not quite the question they ask, though. They wanted to find the derivative at 0. So I've done all the hard work. Now I just need to plug in 0 for t. And we get 3. Find the slope of the tangent line. That means the derivative at the given point, at 0, 0. All right. Lots of good problems in that section. Make sure you're doing them and check in on CalcChat or with each other or something to kind of confirm that everything looks good.